Well, folks, good evening or good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you are listening to this presentation. We want to welcome you and thank you for joining us this evening or joining me this evening. This short presentation, folks, will give you an overview of Max International and really an opportunity to improve your health. It's really interesting. I was just kind of flicking through TikTok and Instagram. I know I shouldn't do that. But from time to time, I like to see what's going on and what's happening. And obviously, I also want to give my regards to all the Florida residents. I know the Milton hurricane has been an absolute nightmare. Thank God that it halfway through Florida, I went down to intensity level 1, and now it's actually down to the Atlantic. And I hope that it's going to be it for the end of the year, until the end of the year at least. But folks, my point in saying here is, if we start with our health, or unfortunately, most people in the world today are exposed to a high level of pollution and toxic. And when I was saying I was flicking through Instagram and TikTok, I was reading, listening to some companies. I'm not going to name the companies again out of respect here, but there's a lot of elements that are in our food, and they mislead people all the time with some so-called nutritional labels that are not really real. So the problem is when you add the high stress, the poor diet, the lack of sleep, these are issues that are not helping our health. And in fact, death from non-infectious diseases continues to rise. According to the World Health Organization, folks, the top two causes of death worldwide are heart disease, stroke, diabetes, kidney disease, and others that are leading cause of death globally. These trends, folks, definitely shows us that there is a health challenge in the world today. I think we cannot deny that. Taking care of our health is absolutely critical. Health is wealth, folks, right? The fact is that if we take good care of our bodies, well, the basic food that are that we consume on a daily basis can make a significant impact into our lives. See, our overall health depends on the health of your individual cells. If your cells are healthy, folks, our bodies are healthy. It's really that simple. And it is glutathione that keeps your cells healthy. After food, water, and oxygen, the fourth thing that every single cells need to survive is called glutathione. This is a very, very important molecule. So people say, well, that's a bit of a word of a mouth, a word that's a bit of a mouthful, right? So what is glutathione? So the fact is, we produce it naturally in every single cells of our body. It's our body's natural defense against toxins, pollutions, and so much more. Every day, there are thousands of attacks on our cells. It's glutathione that protects us against these attacks. Without optimal level of glutathione, folks, our cells cannot be healthy. And and the fact is, we know that if our cells are not healthy, our bodies cannot be healthy. So this is really, really important. When we have optimal level of glutathione, folks, we have so many benefits. Just to name a few, you can see here on the slide, our immune system is stronger. It reduces the inflammation in our cells. As you know, inflammation is associated to probably almost every disease known to humanity today, right? It helps slow down the aging process. I don't know about you, but I'll sign up for that class, right? We get better energy, better sleep, reduce stress, and better mental focus and clarity. I know that's, especially in our days, that is so important. It also improves our performance, whether it is mental or physical. We get better stamina and recovery, so we can perform better, whether it is in the gym, the classroom, the boardroom, folks, even the bedroom. I'm sure you guys will agree with me. So the fact here is, but there's bad news. See, from the age of 20, the glutathione level starts going down naturally, and that is due to aging. But understand, folks, that it's not just a natural stage of aging that's the problem today. It's what we consume on a daily basis, as I mentioned earlier. We usually lose about 10 to 15% of the glutathione levels every decade. And again, folks, these studies were quite old. It doesn't consider the issues that we're dealing with today. So, but let's just follow the stats that are saying here. By the time you're 40 or 50, right, the glutathione level has been depleted up to 50%. And again, it all depends. In some cases, it might be a lot worse than that. So our glutathione levels are nowhere near where they need to be able to live a good quality of life. You know what I mean? To age gracefully, I like to say it. So it is not surprising that we start to hear about health issues, lack of energy, aches and pains, trouble sleeping, and so many other complaints that people are getting as they get older. So the fact is, if you contribute to stress, right? I think that today it's a bit of an issue. We hear about this quite a bit. Poor diet, toxins, illness, alcohol, abuse of alcohol, and other issues that cause the glutathione levels to go down even faster. And remember what we said. If we have optimal level of glutathione, folks, our cells are healthy. If you do not have enough glutathione, folks, our cells are not healthy. I don't know if I've said that enough time. And if our cells are not healthy, folks, our body cannot be healthy. So this is a very, very big concern. In fact, there is over 74 diseases and health challenges associated with low glutathione. Mentioned earlier, diabetes, hypertension, stroke, arthritis, kidney disease, and so much more are just a few of the health challenges associated with glutathione. So very important to keep in mind here, folks, what we have here. So we've heard how important glutathione is right now. So why don't we just get more of it? And that's has always been the challenge. You see, it's unfortunate, but the medical industry, and not to put it down, but it's not part of the educational process, right? It is not an element that the pharmaceuticals are very profitable selling. So no wonder we don't hear much about it. But unfortunately, it is such an important molecule. Now, you can take it in the form of a pill or capsule, and folks, that's a bit of a felony. But the fact is, if you consume anything that they sell that is say is glutathione, it will be destroyed within the digestive tract. It becomes completely useless by the time it gets to that cellular level. So another thing that we can do, some of you might have heard of this, is you can inject glutathione molecule right into the bloodstream. But you see, the glutathione molecule is designed to live inside the cells. And when the molecule is produced, the glutathione molecule, it is too big to fit inside the cell. Think of a golf ball. You know those little kind of marks, like there's little holes in the golf ball? Well, that would be the size of the pore of the cells. And the glutathione molecule, it's too big to fit inside. So the next best thing, what will happen is, if you think of your fist as being the cell, well, what's going to happen is the glutathione molecule is just going to roam. That would be let's use my AirPod here, right? That would be comparative, right? The cell, that's the molecule, maybe a little smaller than that. And then it goes and roams around, right? And what's really interesting is that it will actually detox the cell from the outside. So the downside of this is, one, is it's short-lived because it's not inside the cell. So it will dissipate very quickly. The other thing is it could be quite expensive and also not very convenient for you to find a doctor. Maybe in your country, they don't have these glutathione injection. But in fact, if you are in an emergency for any kind of for example, like Tylenol overdose, for example, right? The very first thing they would do if you go to the emergency is to inject the glutathione molecule right inside, because it is the fastest way to neutralize the damage, right? So the fact here is it's quite known. But what people don't realize is we have a supplement that you can consume that contains the precursors. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So the fact here is, okay, so how can we effectively raise the glutathione? Well, let's talk about this. And this is why our products are so important, is we have the patent, which is what we call the ribosine. That is the solution that will actually transport the technology right inside your cells to produce the glutathione inside your cells. See, Max International has a solution. So ribosine is a breakthrough science that actually raises the glutathione within the bloodstream. It's a combine of the D-ribose and the L-cysteine. And the ribose is a simple sugar that we use to make the energy. And the cysteine is an amino acid that we need as one of the key components to make glutathione. So the ribose protects the cysteine. So as it goes through the digestive tract, it'll be protected. And when it passes that, it gets into the bloodstream, then it gets right into the cell intact. And then the ribose will be now produce the energy, and the cysteine will be available. And there's other elements there, without getting into too many details, to produce the glutathione inside the cells. And this is a gentleman, the late Dr. Herb T. Nagasawa, who passed on just actually a few months ago. Just an amazing man with over 45 years of professorship. They spent over 25 years of his life in a scientific research to create this ribosine with over 54 peer reviews. And the fact is, ribosine is the most advanced glutathione support available in the world today. In fact, it was 300% more effective than the next best alternative in raising glutathione within the organ cells. And we already heard that glutathione is a critical part of your health. So that's a very big deal. See, ribosine is truly a scientific breakthrough that solves a real problem in the world today. And because it is only available through Max International, that's the only place you can have access to it, which gives you really an interesting opportunity. So, moving forward here, what we have is we want to talk a little bit about our products. And there's a whole series of products that we have, but we want to focus on the product that really focuses on the ribosine technology. See, it can be found in our Max International Breakthrough products. And in fact, our Max products are halal certified. So it's very interesting, but every single different communities can actually take advantage of that, right? And they also approve the required authorities in many countries that where Max is actually operating and making, having the products available. All of our products are certified by the Banned Substance Control Group. So Olympic athletes and professional athletes can take these products safely. So that's really interesting. In fact, we have quite a few Olympic professionals that actually have been using some of our products, right? People absolutely love our products, folks. They really do. In fact, it's beyond loving our products. They don't want to live without. That's how significant this is. So let's talk about the most important product right now, where I like to talk about, which is the ribosine. We call it Max One, but really there's one ingredient in this one. 100% ribosine in there. Raise the glutathione within the cells, as we talked about earlier, and it's excellent for detoxification, energy, stamina, and strength, stress, stress reduction, mental focus, sleep, skin health, and so much more. Folks, the body does miraculous things if you give it the right nutrients for be able to do what it's meant to do. So that is my wife and I love this product. We take it every single day. This one over here is our flagship product because this is not just the ribosine, but you can see here there is a series, a buffet of elements in there that will complement the ribosine. So Celgivity is your most advanced formula. It contains the ribosine and 12 supporting ingredients that raise the glutathione within the cells. You take 2 capsules in the morning and 2 capsules in the afternoon or the evening. It's entirely up to you. What's very important is to drink plenty of water. Like a full glass of water like this is excellent every time you take your 2 capsules. Most healthy people will notice better energy, better mental focus, better sleep, and reduce aches and pains. For some with health challenges, sometimes the results can be life-changing. So the fact here is, I'm not saying that this is going to completely change your life, but it certainly will improve it. If you're healthy and want to remain healthy, folks, take the Celgivity. If you're aging and want to stay youthful, take the Celgivity, folks. It will slow down the biological clock, right? If you had health challenges and you're looking to recover, I'm telling you, take the Celgivity. Recently, I started doing some heavy lifting and weights and everything, and I ripped one of my muscle on my left hand, my left side, and man, it took me. I thought it would take me about 6 months. I'm not kidding. It was quite serious. I thought it would take me about 6 months to recover from this, but actually, holy and behold, it was no more than 2 months. It's such an amazing product, and I know I'm raving about it, but I've been on this for a long time. But the fact is just wonderful for recovery. If you're struggling with your health, folks, and running out of option, you cannot go wrong with this. It is important you know that this is a product it is a supplement, right? It is not medication. They're taking alongside your regular medication and do not treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. All they do, folks, is to improve the glutathione production within your cells. And then just let the body does what it's designed to do, right? Health can be remarkably improved by taking these supplements to give the body the right nutrients to be able to do what it's designed to do. We have testimonies, folks, and we'll share about 2 wonderful testimonies as we end this presentation here, folks. And as a matter of fact, what's interesting is we have, I've been in Max International sharing these products for over 17 and a half years. It's going to be 18 years in February of 2025. And folks, I've heard thousands, I'm not kidding, thousands of testimonies from all over the world. My wife and I had the opportunity to go all over East Africa, West Africa, I didn't go to Central Africa yet, but we've been to all over the Americas, from North, Central, and South. We've been to Asia, in different parts of Asia. We've been to Australia, New Zealand. We've been pretty much around the world, and it's just wonderful what this product has done. So at this point, folks, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to shift gear, and I'm just gonna invite our guests to share their story. At this point, Allison, I would like for you. You're muted right now. Just to remind you, I'd like you to share your testimony with the product. I know you have a great story with Max, and thank you so much for joining me here today. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Chris. All right, good evening, everyone. My story goes back about 8 years ago with Max. 8 years ago, I was a completely different person, not the person that you're seeing right now. I struggled with a lot of health issues. I struggled with weight gain. My immune system shut down. I couldn't sleep very well. Everything was just out of proportion. So, fortunately, I ended up meeting somebody within the Max community, and she had a similar condition to me. And she eventually got me on the Cellgevity. And oh my goodness, 3 months later, I noticed a huge difference. I had mental clarity. I was able to make, as a school teacher, I was able to make decisions throughout the day. And then also get back into some of the activities that I love to live. So, for example, judo, skiing, running.
Cool.
Fast forward till today, I am living and loving life. I have lost a ton of weight with Max products, and just by the inspiration with the people within the Max community. Uh, I definitely, I can't describe how much Max works. It's something that you have to try for yourself, folks.
Thank you, Allison. Really, really appreciate that. I know that I love these products. I'm telling you, I wouldn't spend a day without them. And I know I'm not, 20, 30, 40, 50. I'm going close to 60, or I'm 50. I'm 58. But honestly, I feel absolutely fantastic. I just have to remind myself that I have to keep training. I have to keep moving, because as you age, metabolism slows down. So unfortunately, gravity takes everything down. But I tell you, I just love it. So thank you for sharing.
You're
So,
welcome.
folks, I want to introduce you Jasmine Tiberge. Jasmine is also a very good friend of ours, and she's been on the product. And she's a bit. She likes to call herself a science geek. She really does her study on the product, but she also has a wonderful story to share. So, Jas, please go ahead and share your story.
Thank you so much, Chris. And I have to say to both you and Allison, it's so inspirational to hear your stories. It just keeps reminding me of the difference that it makes. And for myself, yes, I've been on the products probably now about 14 years. Total science geek, did some research for somebody that approached me, wanted to find out how his mom, who had started taking these products, went from being in bed for over a year to wanting to go and exercise and go dancing and traveling. And so she had had a complete transformation, and he came to me and said, what is glutathione? Did the research for him and have never looked back, because I really got how this works. And for me, my biggest thing was that I had issues, two big things: insomnia. I didn't sleep for 35 years and started taking these. And within a few months, I was sleeping every night. Well, that's a lifesaver. If you know anyone that suffers and doesn't sleep at night, they're going to love you forever. Share this with them, because it's just the best thing to wake up and feel energized. Number two was I had back issues, and I've had back issues since I was 20 years old. I cannot tell you how many tens of thousands of dollars on back care. I'm a dental hygienist. We sit crooked. So between physio, chiropractor, massage, I was just like literally spending anywhere between $5,000 and $8,000 a year on doing my back care with no coverage. I didn't have, that was out of pocket. Started taking these products, and literally within 3 months, I stopped. I have not gone to have any more adjustments or back care that I need to do. I do a massage once in a while because it feels good, but I don't have to do, those things just to help me not seize up, because there were times when I was literally crippled. And it was interesting. Today I met a lady that's 66. We're both 66. And she, as we were talking, she had to leave right away because she says, I'm going for an appointment for physio because I have so much back pain. And it just hit me, and I thought, wow, that is just such I it was so real for me, and it's such a foreign concept, a foreign thought for me to think about having back pain.
Mm.
So I said to her, okay, you go for your appointment, but I said, but we need to talk because I've got something that's going to help you, and it's helped me dramatically. And like I said, I'm inspired by both of you. I'm inspired like you, Chris, with all the stories that we hear all around the world, and I can't wait to share this with one more person so that they could hang out with me on the dance floor and dance till they're 100.
I totally agree, Jess. And I really thank the both of you here for joining me this evening. And folks, these products are absolutely wonderful. I'm never going to stop talking about them because I know how good and how important it is, especially today in our society, which unfortunately what North Americans are exposed to on, things that are not even legal in Europe, we eat here in abundance, right? And I just don't understand that logic. So we have to be very responsible. We can't just go to the groceries and buy any cereals or drink any kind of dairy products. And there's so many issues. But the fact is, you can't control it all. But if you can have a supplement to complement the habits and things that is out of your control, at least you're having a shield to protect yourself against some of those predators. And that's what we're talking about here. So, folks, thank you so much for listening here this evening. I know some of you are here from Facebook, some of you are here from YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And every second Thursdays, we are presenting with different hosts and different presenters and different stories, so you can hear from different point of views and different folks that are using our products. So, ladies, thank you very much for joining me this evening, and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Thank you. Have a
Bye.
great evening, everyone. Bye now.